Harper Lee became one of the great American novelists of the 20th century for one book that she wrote, which was To Kill a Mockingbird. This book grabbed the sensibilities of the nation during the time of the civil rights movement of the 1960s. It was made into a movie starring Gregory Peck, which was one of the best movies of the year in 1962. When the book came out in 1960, it first came out in an advanced copy. I'm holding one of the rare advanced copies of that book here. This is a book that comes out before the actual publishing of the book, so it even predates the first printing or first edition of the book. And this had a cover on it in which her friend Truman Capote, which most people didn't know he'd grown up with her, and as a kid, had written, already a well-known author, and who would write In Cold Blood and other bestsellers. And he was promoting this book of his friend Harper Lee by saying that the first novel this first novel has hit the jackpot, and then the novel will be published in July at $3.95. But we are rushing this paper-bound copy to you so that you may share with us the rare fun and lift in the discovery of a new, fresh talent. Truman Capote wrote on the cover, "Someone rare has written this very fine first novel, a writer with the liveliest sense of life and the warmest, most authentic humor. A touching book and so funny, so likable. Please set aside an evening or two real soon to read To Kill a Mockingbird." Of course, I'd be very, very happy to have your reaction as signed by the head of Lippincott, who was about to publish the thing. The book, of course, has to do with a racial trial took place down in the South. This is a first edition of the book when it first came out, and it's actually signed by Harper Lee. In the front of the book, the first edition signed by Harper Lee is really a rare book. It came out in 1960 after the advanced copy came out. And then next to it over here is also a signed 40th edition of the book, which came out in the year 2000. And then below it here, I just brought a couple of related documents. There's a first contract rights to publish this book in Prague, Czechoslovakia. So it's the contract to publish Harper Lee's masterpiece in Czechoslovakia, signed by her. So kind of get an idea, this book had spread over the world to quite a great extent. This is only a few years after it first came out, 1965, 5 years later. This was the contract for publishing there. And then finally, there's this little excerpt. "Shoot all the blue jays you want if you can hit them, but remember it's a sin to kill a mockingbird," signed by her. She only died within the last couple of years. An earlier novel that she had written caused quite a stir, but it wasn't much of a novel compared to this one. So this is a classic now in American literature.